Ah, yes. Ah, yes. What's up, everybody, and welcome to a Tuesday show, a Tuesday stream. It's going to be a good one. Lots of fun stuff, lots of cool stuff to get into today. Yes. And I almost just accidentally hit the end stream button. So there's that. But I didn't hit it. And we're still live. What's up, everybody? Hope you guys are doing well. We're going to be talking today all about Red Hulk, Harrison Ford, President of the United States, and some of the ground level stuff that Marvel Studios is building together. You know, we touched on this early yesterday on the stream. It was like one of the first things we talked about because it was breaking. But since then, many other things have come out and people are talking about it in different regards. And so I wanted to get into it. Talk about what we know, speculate about how it could end up being. And I even want to venture in just a little bit, just dip our toe in it. The political realm, the political landscape, as it were. And I want to talk about conservatism. Oh, wait, come back. We're only gonna talk about that for a little bit. Don't just relax. Everybody chill out. It's gonna be fine. We'll get into that and we'll talk about what's going on with the MCU fans, and how President Red Hulk being a total Giga Chad could actually work and help things out. So we'll get into that. I think it's going to be real fun. Hopefully. We'll see. So yeah, let's get into it. Oh, you know what I wanted to say too? At the beginning of this stream, we're doing a new thing over here. And this is mainly for people that are watching this on the replay. We've got a ton of people that watch the streams on the replay. They, like, for whatever reason, can't make it there live. We're doing a new thing. It's on the channel right now, and it's like a thing. Maybe you've heard of it before. Maybe you've seen it before. It's called Super Thanks, okay? And it's essentially a super chat that you can send on a video, not on a live stream, but on a video. So if you're watching this on the replay, it's a video, and we have Super Thanks enabled. You should be able to find it near the subscribe button or something like that. But here's the point. This is why this is cool. A lot of you guys wish you could make it live because you want to chat something and you want to have me go over it in the Q&A, but you're never here live. So you got to hear me go over everybody else's super chats and you're not here. Well, now you can drop a question at any point during the video while you're watching it, and you can do a super thanks and put a question or a comment in there. And then on the following stream, I will go over all of the super thanks from the day before. So it's kind of like a cool way for people that can't watch live to still be able to get questions answered, to be a part of the Q&A, and also to support the channel. So we've opened that up, and I just wanted to make mention of that. I'm going to try to make mention of that every day this week because it's it's kind of cool. It's kind of a cool feature that's going on. Okay. So let's get into a couple of pieces of news. Should we get right into the Red Hulk stuff, or should we just talk about some of the other things that are going on? Because there were some other interesting stories that broke late last night that I want to cover. There's some comments by David Zaslav on Batman and the DCEU, which is kind of crazy. And then there's some weird stuff going on with Star Wars as well. Yeah. Harrison Ford, so damn old. I mean, he's old. He's an older guy. He's an older dude, but, he's going to be doing the Indiana Jones stuff. He's likely going to be doing this Red Hulk stuff. I mean, at this point, it's not even really a rumor anymore. Like, we know that Harrison Ford is going to be Thunderbolt Ross and Red Hulk in the MCU. And there's even some rumors where I guess Theory kind of dropped it on me last night. He said he might even be in the Book of Boba Fett second season, which would be super cool. I mean, I still think the dude can act, and especially nowadays with, whether it's digital de-aging or deepfake technology or even using stand-ins, there's a lot of cool stuff they can do. It's way easier to be older and be doing something really cool out there as far as acting is concerned. So You know what? I'm feeling the Red Hulk, man. Let's get into the Red Hulk. Let's talk about the Red Hulk. So, as was reported yesterday from Daniel Richtman, and I did look into this, and it is indeed true, Red Hulk is going to be the president of the United States. And so this is really, really interesting to me. But one of the things that we need to sort of clarify here as far as MCU fans, and like this is going to be one of those streams, man, where we get really sweaty. There's speculation. We're going to be talking about what other people are saying. And who knows? Some of the stuff will pan out. Some of the stuff probably won't pan out. But it is what it is. So take it with a grain of salt. But from what we understand, there will be a different president in the MCU when we get into Secret Invasion. Okay? And this has led many people, and I would like to know if you agree with this or not, this has led many people to believe that in order for Thunderbolt Ross to become the president of the United States, that what you'll get is the president in Secret Invasion being revealed to be a Skrull, or perhaps dying in that series. And so I guess, like, to start off with, like, what do you guys make of that? Because one of the sort of themes that's going on with all this stuff is it really seems like they're building up this thing to have all the different aspects of the ground level MCU kind of pull together and play nicely together. Do you know what I mean? Who is the current U.S. president in the MCU? So I'm not sure what the guy's name is, but he's mentioned in Wakanda Forever, and I believe there is an actor for him for Secret Invasion. Like, the president will play a role in Secret Invasion. Absolutely. So, President Ritten, is that the guy's name? Yeah, President Ritten's a Skrull? Yeah, so that's very possible, okay? And when I thought about that, I was like, yo, this is kind of wild, because in Secret Invasion, at the end of it in the comic books, what ends up happening is you have the Thunderbolts, led by Norman Osborn, sort of saving the day, and Norman is the one that takes the shot that takes the Skrull Queen out, okay? And so I couldn't help but think about, well, what if they're going to do something like that in the Secret Invasion show, or maybe leading out of it or something, where essentially the real president or the current president is revealed to be a Skrull, and then maybe Thunderbolt Ross or something like that is like the hero of that, or he uncovers that or something like that, right? Because that would actually just be super sick, because you could like see the scenario in which all of the people from Earth, or at least a lot of Americans and different folks around the world, especially if we have like this Thanos thing, half of the existence is, snapped out and then blipped back. You've got this crazy cosmic god thing in Eternals, right? You've got all these issues. And then you add into that a Skrull invasion that's probably going to destabilize most of the planet. I think that humanity is going to be very, like, they want a president that they feel will protect them. Do you know what I mean? Like, they want somebody who's going to keep them safe. And I imagine that even if they don't do the end of the Secret Invasion thing with Thunderbolt Ross, they will likely have Ross run on the idea of security, of being safe, of protecting us from all of these different people, you know what I mean? These different alien groups that want to invade, etc., etc. So I kind of think like that will be the vibe that they do. And I love this. I love this for a couple of different reasons. This is actually one of the things that I've wanted the MCU to address for a long, long time. Let me say something that I haven't said in a long time, but I'm sure many of you, especially if you've been with me for some time, will recall. Do you guys remember when, after Avengers Endgame, I would mention Dark Avengers quite often? I don't know. Throw a 1 into the chat if you know that I've mentioned Dark Avengers. There was a current kick, or rather, I was on a kick about mentioning Dark Avengers all the time. Yeah? Okay, cool. Yeah, y'all remember, right? Y'all remember? Nice, man. Hey, we're circling back. We're bringing it back, baby. We're bringing it back. I literally used to bring up Dark Avengers on almost every set. Too much? Kendall says too much? Every stream? Oh, shit. Well, I was about to admit that I brought it up probably in every stream and every video, but now I don't feel like admitting it anymore. Regardless, let me just bring it back to, like, why that was a thing. Man, the reason I felt like that was a thing was I was like, bro, if this shit happened where Thanos came down and just whacked half of Earth, fucked up the Avengers and, like, destroyed us, I'd be like, dude, we need stronger heroes. We need a better defense. I thought it would be the perfect time in a post-Endgame world to put in a lot of, like, paranoia, world powers, consolidating power. And I even thought in Spider-Man Far From Home that Nick Fury, and the thing that he was going to in Germany the following day, right? And this whole idea of, hey, this guy's from another universe, but he's going to help protect us, and we want to protect ourselves, and all that kind of stuff, right? I was like, dude, they're definitely going to set up a scenario in which most of the world is like power and protection at all costs. And I thought that would be incredible to then go into the Dark Avengers, right? So I've been about it. You know what I mean? I personally think that would be really, really sick. And to take a small little detour here, with what appears to be happening with all the ground level stuff, and especially after the big sort of scoop that Paul had about Secret Wars, it seems like Kang may still be messing with the timeline. He might be setting stuff up and have manipulated the Avengers in many different ways. Like in the Avengers Forever comic book, there's made mention of these kind of shapeshifters. I forget exactly what they're called. If there's any like real big comic book sweaties in the chat, you guys can help me out. But there were like these shapeshifter people that were like somehow like these time displaced people that could just morph and shapeshift into anybody. And Kang had been using them to set things up and manipulate the Avengers and a lot of different things throughout the history of Marvel Comics and the Avengers, right? He was basically pulling a lot of the strings to get to certain outcomes so that then he could launch a war against the Mortis. Okay? So, I wonder if any of the stuff that's happening right now on planet Earth with, you know, Telecon and Wakanda, with, you know, America, with a lot of these different places, the sort of destabilizing things that are happening, I do wonder if there'll be a Kang connection to that. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Kang presents himself in Avengers Kang Dynasty and reveals that he was secretly manipulating all of these different things. The other thing that's really crazy too is that it does appear that Harrison Ford as Red Hulk and as president will not be a one-off. And I think in yesterday there was a live stream that Grace Randolph did, and she explained that she had heard that Harrison Ford is in as Red Hulk till at least Secret Wars, and maybe even beyond that. Okay? So you're essentially going to have Captain America 4 center around this idea that, and again, a lot of this is speculation, but coming out of Secret Invasion, going into Captain America 4, I would imagine that Ross is going to be elected basically under the idea of wanting to protect everybody and you know, being, you know, tough on crime and like that sort of an idea, right? And he'll also be Red Hulk. And I do wonder, like, I would probably bet in the first movie, like in the Captain America 4 movie, they might even do this thing where Harrison Ford is seen on screen a lot as the president. And Sam, as Captain America, is meeting with the president, and they're having some kind of a conflict or discussion because I believe Ross, not only has he always been at odds with Sam and with Steve Rogers before him, but he's also a guy that, like, you know, wants symbols and all of these different ideas. And I believe that there'll be a nice surface level conflict between one Sam Wilson, who sees the shield, the responsibility of the shield, the mantle, and the path that America should take forward as his own unique, perspective. And then you'll have a guy like Ross who's like, nah, man, like, you're a cog in the machine and we need to protect ourselves. We need to exude strength, and I need you on my team. Do you know what I mean? And so the idea of New World Order is very likely Ross and perhaps other parties around the globe trying to move in a new direction, and maybe somebody like Sam Wilson sort of being at odds with that. And I think that's compelling. But I think the thing that would be even crazier and more compelling is if what you have is sort of an A plot where you've got Harrison Ford as the president having all these conversations and speeches in a conflict with him and Sam Wilson. And then the B plot is that there's another Hulk, and that there's a Red Hulk going out there and doing crazy stuff. I would love that. And I would love for it to sort of be a reveal, because in comics, there was this kind of fun thing where when Red Hulk was first introduced, nobody knew who Red Hulk was. And it was mysterious. It was like over a year before we figured out who Red Hulk was. Oh, by the way, when Hulk himself was first being introduced into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, this is right around the time that Red Hulk is introduced. I think Red Hulk's introduced in Marvel Comics in like 2008, 2009, or something like that. And so it'll be crazy. Won't Red Hulk look like Harrison Ford? I mean, I think he will, but there are ways that you could sort of shadow away his face, or, almost think of the first scene with Namor in Wakanda Forever, where you don't really see him. You see like the outline of him, and he's presented in this like really mysterious and like spooky way. And like nobody knows who the fuck Namor is, so they're just describing like this winged fishman dude, right? And I would say the same thing for Hulk. In fact, there could be a lot of people that would say it's Hulk, but he's red. And maybe that's the only real thing that they would get from it, right? Like, I very much doubt people are gonna like look at Red Hulk in the wild, or like when he's doing something, and be like, yo, that Hulk kind of looks like the president of the United States, doesn't he? And even if he did, would you still be able to make that connection? I don't know. Right? So I like that, and I think it would be really, really interesting to have like Red Hulk be this like sort of mystery thing that maybe is, again, a B plot thing that just keeps popping up, and maybe Sam is simultaneously having conflict with this new Hulk while also having conflict with the president, not understanding that they're the same. Do you know what I mean? And that would be very, very interesting, okay? Now, the next part of this that I think is super cool is that it seems like Armor Wars, Thunderbolts, World War Hulk, and maybe even the mutants are all things that are going to be involved in Captain America New World Order. Because, as Lennox points out, yeah, the leader's supposed to be in there as well. And they even said something in the description, like Daniel's first scoop was something like siphoned off energy then creates the Red Hulk, which is very similar to like what happens with the intelligentsia when they first actually create the Red Hulk, because they siphon off a lot of crazy gamma power from World War Hulk when Bruce is going absolutely crazy, right? So I don't know, like it's fascinating to me. I'm like, dude, this actually seems like it's really fixing, again, a lot of the issues that I think Marvel is currently facing, Like, injecting a President Red Hulk, and then, like, I'm a little all over the place here, but I also can't stop thinking about the idea of him being Red Hulk and people knowing that the President is the Red Hulk. Like, dude, I like that. I think that would be kind of fun, you know what I mean? Especially, imagine Kang coming down and wanting to take over the world, and like the president of the United States like Red Hulking out and like actually trying to like punch him in the face or something like that. Like, it would be kind of incredible. Like, I think it's really, really hyped. But so let's kind of break this down and then try to like pull all of these pieces together, right? So apparently the Skrull and maybe even the Kree are after some crazy Tony Stark tech in Secret Invasion. It also kind of seems like spinning out of Secret Invasion, you're going to have destabilized America, and Ross brought in as the president of the United States. Okay? Then, in Thunderbolts, it seems like they're setting up a Thunderbolt Wakanda conflict, right? But it also seems like Red Hulk himself could be involved in Thunderbolts as well, and perhaps the New World Order seeds are planted there. The other thing that I think was mentioned with Thunderbolts is like this idea of building into World War Hulk. So like, how does all of that fit together? You know what I mean? Are they going to attempt to do World War Hulk, but with Red Hulk instead of regular Hulk? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know about that, man. And the other thing that's real wild is that there are scoopers teasing out that adamantium and possibly Wolverine himself will also be involved in Captain America 4. And to me, this makes a lot of sense. Because if you have super soldier serum, you have vibranium and maybe adamantium, you have a situation where Thunderbolt Ross is now in charge of this group of superheroes and also protecting America and the world. I think you could see something like the Weapon Plus program or the Weapon X program begin to take shape in the MCU. And I actually would like it. I think that would be super cool, man. Because even though, yeah, they're probably going to bring in like some Fox X-Men and like at this point there's so much crazy stuff that's happening, man. It's like it's hard to try to make sense of all of it and see like what they're actually going to do, right? But I do think that if they're going to just plan on like setting the X-Men up in the MCU, especially for something after Secret Wars, I think having Weapon X or Weapon Plus is a really, really good way to do it. So I like the lore aspect of it. I like the connective tissue aspect of it. And I think it could be something really hyped up to watch over the next couple of years, right? And it's like, it's a really fun idea for Feige to grab Harrison Ford, to do the Red Hulk, and to do this president thing, and be really bold with the grounded side of the MCU. Like, even before Secret Wars, whatever is happening in the like more ground level earthbound side of Marvel, I mean, dude, it's starting to seem really, really hyped up and cool. And so I think that this helps a lot of the problems that Marvel has. Like, one of the problems is, you know, sort of a push towards a balance between the masculinity and a lot of the masculine characters and the female characters. We've talked about this a ton over the past 6 to 9 months, right? I've done like several videos on this where, you know, there's this whole like, you know, meme or thing that people say about the MCU and how it's doing all of these female characters. And I think a lot of that criticism is like just not legit, but there is some truth to it in the sense that if you look around, it does seem like we've lost a lot of badass, stoic, strong male characters. Like, that's just facts. You know what I mean? And I think you need a balance between that. And so bringing in a character like Red Hulk is already sort of answering that, and bringing in somebody like Harrison Ford, who I think is like one of the last like really strong male lead type actors in Hollywood. Like, you know, and it's funny because there was a time where I would consider Russell Crowe to be one of those actors as well. And then you see, of course, what they do with Russell Crowe in Love and Thunder. You know what I mean? So I think that that kind of a balance could absolutely work. But, you know, I was saying on Twitter yesterday, and to my surprise, I didn't get as much heat for this as I thought I would. But I suggested on Twitter yesterday that it could be useful if the Red Hulk sort of, as president, like was somewhat of a balance in terms of political ideologies and leanings. Because regardless of how you personally feel about politics, I think it's pretty fair to say that a lot of the messaging in modern day pop culture movies has been very left-leaning and very like progressive leaning for years and years and years. And I think from strictly a business perspective, if you really look at how these things are performing, and you look at, a movie like Top Gun, I think it's pretty obvious that at the very least, there's somewhat of a fatigue of this messaging resonating with people, or not feeling like just super heavy-handed and out of control, right? But you also have potentially turned off a ton of people because they quite literally feel like they are being villainized, undermined, or ignored, right? And so I think it's crazy because people were like, they would never do this. They would never have this happen in a Marvel movie. But I really do believe that if you had Red Hulk and Harrison Ford as President Red Hulk really embody some very ideologically conservative ideas, I think it would be really good for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, quite frankly. And this is not so foreign to pop culture either. Like, there have been incredible stories, like even Watchmen. If you really think about Watchmen, there's a lot of conservative ideas put into Watchmen that are, sort of combating other liberal ideas or philosophical ideas. And Watchmen is this really interesting story that sort of deconstructs all of it, and you basically get this like bird's eye view of like all of these different perspectives. And then I think depending on how you personally feel, you resonate with one character over the other. So I don't think it's as radical of an idea as a lot of people think. And I think it used to be more common. And even if you look at like the Top Gun approach, because Top Gun is almost apolitical, while also kind of pushing some themes and some ideas that are like, I almost want to say they silently speak to the older, more conservative crowd out there. And Hollywood has to make a decision. And I think Marvel's at a certain impasse where they have done a lot of work to push progressive ideas, left-leaning ideas that they think are really important. And I think it could legitimately benefit the Marvel Cinematic Universe if they did something like that. So what does something like that look like? You know what I mean? Like, what would that be like? Well, I think it's not as complicated or as esoteric as people think. And I don't think you need to go of any sort of actual messaging from like a specific political party. But if you really think about like that ideology and where that ideology comes from, if you present Ross in a way where, for instance, he thinks that order and the order of the world, but also the order of an individual person is paramount, and that the place that we're currently at, with the Marvel Cinematic Universe needs a return to order. That's kind of a simple conservative idea to put out there. If you have him basically talking about how the pre-established ideas and things that have worked for humanity over time are not so easily dispensed with. And there's like this conservative idea that essentially, I think it was Edmund Burke said, the individual is stupid, but the species is wise. And there's sort of this idea of conservative thought that if you want to improve a thing and all you're thinking about is like, okay, so how do we make it better, that you are discounting the reality that it might already be the best it can be in a complicated world. And there's this idea that to just break it apart or try to fix it, that's an unwise thing, that you should let tried and true convention continue to work. And as I'm saying some of these things, maybe you understand that this has actually been in media before. These ideas are really intrinsic to the human experience. Conservatism and liberalism, or like being old school or being a progressive, these are not new things. They've been around for a long, long time. And I think that we do a disservice to the ideologies to like try to minimize them or try to make them a dunk fest on social media or Twitter. But Marvel doesn't even have to get that deep, bro. They don't have to come out and like forwardly say that or come up with a plan that makes this really nuanced. I'll tell you, they just got to not make him this conservative, villainous person. Like, if they take the Red Hulk and they present him as like this modern version of conservatism and then do nothing but make that look bad, villainous, out of touch, like the guy doesn't have a heart, that would be the worst possible option, because that sort of that feeds right into the narrative. It also feels completely unoriginal. You know, I think really, really good movies and sometimes really, really good plot is how the truth of things can battle, like the realm of ideas, and really trying to like explain the good and bad of these ideas and these concepts. That kind of stuff is compelling, dude. All of the best Marvel villains think they're a hero, and we can see at least how they got to the logic that they got to, right? Like, you look at Killmonger, he is insane and psychopathic and violent, but he also has a point. The things that brought him to the conclusion that he's at are understandable, right? This is what makes incredible villains. So I don't even think that they should make Ross a villain, but he's not going to be a hero either. He's going to be sort of anti-hero, which is what Red Hulk should always be. But at the end of the day, like, one of the things that's kind of interesting here is that like Red Hulk could be right about some things, and the power that he seeks could actually help to defend the planet. Do you know what I mean? So for me, top to bottom, when I think about where Marvel is currently at and some of the problems that they're facing, I really believe, guys, like I really truly believe that having Red Hulk come in, be a sort of shot in the arm for the masculine, you know, be a sort of shot in the arm for this ground level part of the MCU. I mean, he's fixing a lot of those different problems. And I even think from the political perspective, they have a chance, and I'm not sure they're going to do it, but they have a chance to truly surprise us and do like kind of this nuanced idea and take on the different political ideas here. You know what I mean? So I'm excited. I'm excited about the prospect. I think it could be good. I think it could be good. And I'm sure that some people are upset by it and super triggered by it. So we'll get into the Q&A as well, because I definitely want to hear what you guys think about it. But that's kind of what's going on. That's kind of what's going on with the She-Hulk, or the She-Hulk. That's what's going on with the Red Hulk. That's what's going on with the Earthbound Marvel. That's where my head is at. Okay? But now, let's talk about a couple more stories here, and then we'll get into the Q&A, and you guys can yell at me and tell me why you think that's horrible, etc., etc., and I'll yell right back at you and tell you you're a dum-dum. It's going to be a real good time. Okay, anyways, no mention of Feige stepping in to fix it. I mean, that's what this is. That's what the whole thing is, man. That's what the whole thing is, bro. All right. I want to talk about a little DC. I want to talk about a little DC. Pretty curious as to what you guys think about this. This is pretty wild. Now, look, I don't want to go over this whole thing because at the end of the day, like, he is painting a pretty bleak picture about just the state of the industry in general. And it's kind of like, whoa. And I don't know. He could be right. I mean, we are currently going through a really weird time with the economy, markets. It's really, really interesting. But one of the things that he talks about in here is this part right here. Zaslav also touched upon the other parts of the company's business lines. At DC, which is now being led by filmmaker James Gunn and producer Peter Safran, Zaslav said that the pair are coming close to the end of finishing a Bible for DC, an entertainment term for a document roadmap that outlines key characters and plot points. I think over the next few years, you're going to see a lot of growth and opportunity around DC. There's not going to be 4 Batmans. What the fuck? Dude, sometimes Zaslav says stuff, and I'm just like, what prompted you to say that? Like, what are you talking about here? But he goes on and says, so part of our strategy is drive the hell out of DC, which James and Peter are going to do. I think they've thrilled the fans. I think they're going to thrill you over a period of time. What? What? What does that mean? Like, he keeps things super vague a lot of the time, and you're like, I don't know what that means. But in this statement, he literally says, I think over the next few years, you're going to see a lot of growth and opportunity around DC. There's not going to be 4 Batmans. Like, what? There's not going to be 4 Batmans. Okay. Yeah. Leonard says Matt Reeves is toast. I gotta tell you, I think he's right. Do you guys think that this means Matt Reeves is done? Like, what do you guys make of this? Because I think, like, what he's saying is he wants a singular DC. He wants a singular Justice League. He wants singular characters to build around and communicate with, or, and use. I mean, it kind of feels like he's saying no way to Matt Reeves, which is interesting because Matt Reeves, even if everything went according to plan, his movie was not going to be released until 2025. They never officially greenlit a Batman sequel, which I found to be very interesting. And a lot of the time when they talk about the Batman movie, they talk about its box office as like disappointing. I think it made like 7 something, right? It made like 760 or something like that. Yeah. So I don't know. That's weird, man. There's also this situation of Ben Affleck's Batman and Michael Keaton's Batman. So what are they doing with that, dude? Like, what are they doing with that? Like, that's wild. What is this guy talking about, dude? And if they were going to do a Crisis, would not Crisis involve a ton of different Batman and Superman? Like, come on, man. Like, what are you talking about? I don't know, man. And then if you look at what James Gunn is teasing out, he teased out Mr. Terrific. He teased out Lobo. He's teasing some deep cut, awesome comic book characters. I mean, are we getting... I just don't know, man. It's a weird one. Like, it's a weird one. I don't know that this means reboot, but I think what it probably means is a lot of the plans that were started prior to Safran and Gunn taking over are not priority. I don't know. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, we're going to have to follow it and see like what other comments are being made and everything like that. But apparently they're close to having an actual 10-year plan and something of a Bible. James Gunn has spoke to this as well. He's been doing a lot of creative work recently. I think a lot of this will hinge on The Flash, and The Flash is going to change things. But I mean, it's absolutely possible that they're just going to do Michael Keaton as Batman. But that doesn't feel right, dude. Keaton's so fucking old. Like, I like Michael Keaton as Batman, and we're talking about Red Hulk, Harrison Ford, who's probably just as old, okay? So we're talking about some old dudes. I get it, right? But if you're doing a 10-year plan and you just want Batman, like one Batman, is Keaton really the guy for that? Like, is Keaton really the guy for that? I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. I just don't know about that shit. So we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see if there's any more. And then I wanted to bring this up to you because I can't help myself. And I've always got to get really excited about hopeful Star Wars stuff. I guess so that I can just get really depressed about it moving forward, So here we go. So, according to StarWarsNewsNet.com, Dave Filoni and Kathleen Kennedy met with the Ninth Jedi creators, production IG. Recently, it was discovered that Dave Filoni and Kathleen Kennedy met with the chief of Polygon Pictures during a trip to Japan. Now it's come to light that while they were there, they also met with the people involved in Production IG, the studio that thrilled anime fans with Star Wars Vision's The Ninth Jedi. A few days after Filoni and Kennedy visited Shuzu Jean Shiota, an executive producer of Star Wars Resistance, it was learned that they were also stopped by one of their collaborators for Star Wars Visions for what appears to have been another meeting, with Filoni leaving an illustration of Ahsoka and Grogu behind as he and Kennedy autographed the portion on the wall. A fan visiting the studio was able to get a snapshot of the illustration and the autographs, which were dated November 11th, 2022. That was 4 days ago, bruh. And look at this Dave sketch. I mean, Dave's such a G, man. He'll just come out and do a little sketch for you. Or he sketched this on the wall, maybe, huh? And then they signed it. Very cool, okay? Given the recent visit to another Japanese studio, it seems like this may have been for business-related reasons. Production IG could be involved in the future seasons of Star Wars Visions, or it could be possible that they'll work on another project altogether. The Ninth Jedi director Kenji Kameyama described his short film as a pilot episode of sorts, setting the stage for a continuation of the story, and should be involved in one of these conversations with Lucasfilm again. The opportunity to finish a narrative might soon present itself. However, a follow-up to his Visions short would most certainly not come until after his next anime film, The Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim. Which is interesting. I actually didn't know that was that same studio. Maybe at one time I did. But it wasn't... I didn't really recall that. That's crazy. So, let's do the super crazy fanboy Josh thing. Just give me fucking multiple seasons or a full-on movie of this shit. This was awesome, dude. The Ninth Jedi was such a dope little short. I loved it, man. And, you know, again, I'm not going to disparage and shit on Andor anymore. It's obvious everybody loves Andor, and it's a big hit of a show. That's why they're putting it on television around the world besides Disney Plus, because it's such a big hit, and everybody that's disparaging or talking shit on Andor is crazy. But I would much rather prefer something like this. Like, seriously, like this kind of a collaboration, this kind of like taking the ideas of Star Wars, the mythological aspects of Star Wars, and putting sort of a new twist on an old lemon and presenting it in such a cool way. Come on, man. I don't want to see another 3-minute short that could have been done on a napkin. I want these guys to actually produce something in Star Wars, make it substantial, make it cool. Is that too much to ask? Is that too much to ask? Is that? Am I being too crazy? Am I being too crazy to ask for that? The Ninth Jedi is canon. Oh, really? I don't know about that. I don't know about that shit, man. I don't think so. Andor's art sucks. Oh yeah, totally. Of course. It's bad art. Bad sketching. Bad sketching, and I don't like it. Mm-hmm. All right. Should we get into some Q&A? Should we go over some super chats and chat chats and just see what you guys are thinking? Josh for having to watch Andor. Oh, I know. There's only 2 more. There's only 2 more episodes of Andor. Thank God. Thank God. There's only 2 episodes Andor, and then we can get the fuck out. Or we can move on. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah. Hawkeye Season 2 becomes a West Coast Avenger. I mean, it's possible, man. West Coast Avenger, Young Avengers. It feels like that's going to be sort of the move with all that. The thumbnail is you talking about Andor? What? No way. The thumbnail right now? The thumbnail is me talking about Andor? Nah, it says President Red Hulk on my side. President Red Hulk. Yeah. I know what it says. Dude, wait, what? Oh, I get what you're saying. Because I'm so angry. Yeah, right, dude. I'm like really well thought out, put together. I definitely don't just get insta-triggered by Andor, dude. I mean, Andor... You want to know something really funny, man? I just put on my Twitter this morning. I think I tweeted something like... I said, I can now honestly say I've encountered many people that like Andor, okay? And then if you look in here... Where is it at? There's one of these comments that's like... Let me just see if I can find it here. Because it's so... It seems like it has to be a joke. It has to be a joke. Oh, yeah, here it is. Wait. Oh, no. Oh, fuck. It's basically like people's... That said the, like, almost memeable thing that I said last night, where I was like, people just have to say it's the best Star Wars that's ever been made or something like that. And, like, somebody made, like, a bot-ass statement like that. And then, like, a ton of people liked it. And I was just like, bro, there ain't no way, bro. Like, there ain't no way. That's really what people are saying. Like, it's crazy to me. It's crazy. But anyway, we don't have to linger on that. People say that about everything. That's fair. People have those kind of opinions. Okay. Let's get into some Q&A. Let's talk it out. Let's see what else is going on. And if there's something else that's like nerdy and crazy going on in the world that you want me to talk about, we can talk about it. Okay? Oh, holy shit. Okay, so first in today, Moosty says with a $5 hollow, Black Adam greater than Wakanda Forever. Russo's greater than Coogler / Destin Daniel Critton. Doom greater than Kang. I love MCU and in FEIGE we trust, but can't shake the feeling we won't end up with the ideal final product. Okay, so yeah, it's kind of interesting. That's a kind of a tough one for me, man. I definitely couldn't say that Black Adam is better than Wakanda Forever. I will say, though, that just being honest, I could find myself in many different kind of moods in which I would legitimately rather watch Black Adam than I would Wakanda Forever. Like, Wakanda Forever is a sad movie. It's very long. And although there are some incredible moments in the movie, there's a lot of like build up and different sort of like relationship things. And if I'm just looking for smashy smash, yeah, I could see myself maybe wanting some Black Adam a little bit more than Wakanda Forever. Doom greater than Kang. Yeah, I agree. And, you know, I guess let me ask you guys this. What do you guys think about no Doom being the main villain of Secret Wars, okay? Because, you know, we talked about it yesterday in the video, but it does appear that Kang will be the big bad of Secret Wars. And no Dr. Doom. What do you think? What do you think? You down or are you mad? Wakanda Forever is not watchable. I don't know what that means. Like, are you dumb? Are you bummed about that or what? Mad, mixed. Doom is God. Where's Doom? Doom needs more. Focusing on Kang seems good. Yeah. It's kind of interesting. I get it. I think in sort of like our fanboy brains and our fangirl brains, like we come up with these ideas, we come up with these concepts, and like to me, of course, like Dr. Doom is way more interesting than Kang. Dr. Doom is way more badass than Kang. But the Kang that they have built up and presented in the MCU is pretty fucking cool. So I don't think I'm going to be that upset. You know what I mean? And we're going to wait to hear more. I mean, it's possible that Doom and Kang and other people are all teaming up. We'll wait and see. But I'm still super excited for Secret Wars. I mean, the story that came out has me more excited than ever. It's clarified some things, and it has me interested in how certain other things will go on. And the ending of that just sounds wild, and sort of like the streamlining thing and the thing that they want to do with that. So I get it. And I would also say that, like, you know, after you have sort of a shaky phase 4, it's natural, I think, for people to be a little bit, questioning or hesitant as far as like where things are going to go from there. So I get it. I continue to sort of beat the drum of things are going to get better. I actually think that this Red Hulk shit and this Harrison Ford shit, like, this is Feige kind of coming in hot and basically being like, nah, man, like, shit's on shaky ground. We need to up the hype. We need to up the alpha Giga Chad male shit. And we need a little bit more balance. And this character is very, very useful in that sense. Like, I legitimately think that. Like, you might get triggered by that, or you might not see it the way I see it. But I think so. I think that is a very important balance. It's like, in the same way that M'Baku was given a lot of scenes in Wakanda Forever to try to help balance out just the sort of really female-centric story that they were telling. I think that a character like Red Hulk can come in and help balance stuff out as well. So I hear you. Darth Hulk? Are you the same guy from Nerd Theory last night? Welcome to the Nerd Vengers. You are a Nerd Venger now. Make your way around the tower. Check out the amenities. Have some of the charcuterie. You know, grab yourself an espresso. Yeah, man, it's going to be okay. Chibuzi says, do you think Ross is going to become the president just to outlaw heroes in general, then targets new Asgard, Wakanda in the MCU's Cold War storyline? I mean, that's kind of interesting. I don't know. I kind of hope not, to be honest with you. Like, I think what I would prefer is if he's trying to build up like his own team of heroes and trying to like create Weapon X, trying to get vibranium or adamantium to be able to build weapons and do things of that nature. But I don't love the idea of him like actually going after New Asgard and stuff like that. Although maybe that'll play, and maybe like sort of political pressure, like sanctioning or even like security observation, those kind of ideas. Those could be fun. So yeah, I'm open to that. Candle says, I'm starting to think Cap 4 will be the Thunderbolts going to war with Wakanda, having Hulk, Sam, Wakanda, etc. versus Red Hulk and the Thunderbolts and Namor. I mean, that sounds pretty hype. It's a lot of fun pieces on the board. I won't deny that. Thunderbolts, I could see being more of that with the war in Wakanda. But I think Cap 4 really has to be about Sam as Captain America, Red Hulk, and America's place in the world, and sort of just where things are at. And and I think that's like that's a place where you can present Sam coming into his own as Captain America as like really important for the Marvel Cinematic Universe moving forward. But it's interesting. I mean, it's complex, right? And there's a lot of like emotion behind how this should go. So we'll see how they handle it. Overbound Game Studios, the 7-month membership, says, I got my diamond months. Thanks for the great channel, Josh. Hey, thank you, man. I really appreciate all the support. I'm actually going to put this over here. I want to check it out from this side. Yeah. Okay. Sozin's comment says, imagine President Ford having foreign relations with Latveria, planning to attack Wakanda for a new world order of vibranium bots around the world. Yeah. Well, I just like the idea of him being in a lot of different scenes and being very tough and like just presenting like American strength and, you know, what they're willing to do to keep everybody safe. Like, I kind of like that idea, man. I think it could be really interesting. And then you bring in Latveria, you have Wakanda, you have like sort of all these pieces moving on the board. I like it. I like it a lot. And to my knowledge, I've never seen a moment in comics where Red Hulk became president. Like, Cap has been president a couple of times, but I don't know if I've ever seen Red Hulk become president. What do you guys think? Oh yeah, and Savage Land. That's a whole nother thing. The Savage Land, Khazar, and maybe that's where they find the adamantium, is in the Savage Land. You know what I mean? So that could be really sick, dude. Bringing in some cool stuff. Cap 4 will be Phase 5 Civil War type movie, says Kendall. I actually agree. You know, the other thing that I thought was, what if they bring back the Sokovia Accords? Like, what do you guys think? Do you think he'll bring back the Sokovia Accords? It was kind of Ross's whole thing, right? Are we going to get like an executive order on the Sokovia Accords? Civil War 2? I don't know. It could be pretty cool. Oh, sorry. Let's see here. Second Street Marvel says, well-written stories can have thought-provoking political tone without being divisive. Yeah, I agree with you. And I think it used to be more of a thing for sure. I think it used to be more of a thing. And I think that at the end of the day, like, I wouldn't, like, it's almost, I don't really want to say it's political. I think everybody will sort of acknowledge it as political or like think of it as political. But I just think of it as balance, man. Like, and again, like, I think people just get so triggered by like their own perspective on all of this, but they're not taking like a wider approach to this. Like, it's pretty obvious that audiences are just not resonating with a lot of the messaging and some of the go-to things that Hollywood is currently doing. So I think it's worth investigating that and just changing it up. And again, it doesn't have to be heavy-handed. You don't got to like put it in there in a really like aggressive way, but I think you should be thoughtful of how you do it. You know what I mean? Old Head Mike's Metalcore and More says, I feel like we kind of have that already with Contessa. But yeah, but Contessa feels very villainous. You know what I mean? And just like mustache twirling villainous, man. Like, I think you need to represent it a little bit better and not have it just be this total like villainous aspect of it. You know what I mean? David says, Watchmen was a total criticism of right-wing ideologies, Reaganism and Nixon. None of those characters are meant to be looked up to. More was satirizing the politics of the time with those characters, his words. So it's way more complicated than that, but I can agree that there's a lot of criticism of the right in Watchmen. But that's from a real like political perspective. From the ideological perspective, I feel as though he gives a totally fair shake to a lot of conservative ideas. And I think that as you really pull back the layers of Watchmen, it shows the holes in liberal ideas and it shows the holes in conservative ideas. And Alan Moore is way more complicated than just being a guy that thinks right-wing stuff bad. I mean, dude, listen to him talk about the leftist parties of England and what those ideas did to England over time. So it's way more complicated than that, although I do think that you're right. Like, a lot of it is criticizing Reagan specifically and some of those ideologies specifically. But there are concepts in the book that I think actually give a fair shake to some of like the ideological aspects of conservatism. Tyler says, what's your top 3 hyped Star Wars projects post Andor? Probably Ahsoka, number 1. Ahsoka, number 1. I guess Mando 3, number 2. Look, if the Ezra show's real, I'm going to throw that as number 3. But if you're also just talking about stuff that we more or less know is coming, I would say The Acolyte. So Ahsoka, Mando 3, and Acolyte. Those are probably the ones for me. Steve McT, welcome to the Nerd Vengers. You are a Nerd Venger now. Appreciate you. Okay, Angel Stark says, Tom DeLonge is writing the foreword for Stan Lee's biography, Blink-182 for Life. His books/comics are super nerdy and fun, so I'm down. Yeah, dude, Tom is like a real sweaty nerd. And also, isn't he a UFO guy? Isn't he also like, yo, UFOs are real and shit? Like, hasn't he like been involved in that movement as well? That's pretty cool, though. Vandolph the Black, welcome to the Nerd Vengers. You are a Nerd Venger now. Make your way around the tower. Check out the amenities. Check out the snack bar. John's Honest Takes 15-month membership. Says, would you prefer a 17 to 20-year-old T'Challa or an older, more seasoned T'Challa when recast? I prefer the more seasoned T'Challa recast. I think there's multiple ways you could approach this. I think that you need a T'Challa to have an experience with young T'Challa via the ancestral plane. And so I think you need that. But I also think that for Secret Wars, they should have a variant of T'Challa that plays a big role in the movie. And I think that should be a much older, more seasoned version of T'Challa. And that would be sick. So yeah, that's my answer. Matthew says, once you get enough animosity online, whatever you say will be attacked. Don't feed the trolls for now. Internet is undefeated. No shame in that. I don't really know what you're referring to, but also, yes. Yes. Tom's company is the one that helped get the Pentagon's UFO vids released. Yeah, I've heard about that for sure. I've heard about that for sure. DeLonge. Yeah, what did I say? Tom DeLonge? What are you talking about? All right, let's hang out for a couple more minutes. Hang out on the chat. Let's see what's up. Why didn't they utilize Namor's abilities to pull helicopters, jets when he attacked Wakanda? I don't know what you mean. I feel like they did. I feel like he was out there flying around, taking people out. Fernie says, Josh, tell Susan to stop taking my Nerd Ventures parking spot. And I saw Chet siphoning my gas. It's the Wild West in the Nerd Ventures parking lot. Oh my God, really? Well, I guess because I usually fly in, I haven't been in the parking lot in some time. So, damn, that's pretty crazy. Daredevil TVMA. Yeah, that appears to be true. It appears that the Daredevil show might be TVMA, which I think is incredible. Yo, I bought Avengers Forever trade paperback yesterday. If it sucks, I blame you, Josh. Aw, shit. So I recently read the newer Avengers Forever, but I want to go back and reread the old Avengers Forever. I might even do that today because I'm really excited about these Secret Wars rumors and things like that. You know what I mean? You heard Liam? I mean, it could have been Liam. It could have been his mom, too. I don't know what they're doing. Did you see my message? It should be the right account if it's not your personal account. I did not see it. Let me check. Oh, now I hear Liam. What's he even doing out there? He's 3 months old today. What's your name on here, dude? I don't see you on here, bro. You sure? Josh the Jedi? That's my name on Insta. Josh the Jedi with underscores. Yeah, I know, right? Time does fly. Is Hulk in Cap 4? I believe so. I believe that Banner will be in there. I'm not sure what he'll be doing exactly, but yeah. So everything that had a Marvel label is going into Secret Wars. I believe that that's what they're going to shoot for. Yeah. Imagine if a Skrull was dumb enough to try and sim Doom. I know, right? Will you be doing live streams when Warzone 2 releases tomorrow? I don't think I'll do a video game stream unless I get a ton of work done and I'm just kind of feeling it and I'm like, yo, got some time, let's go. Maybe I'll hop on there. I plan on hopping on there in general. But I've got some really cool vids that I want to work on, and I want to work on some of the content a little bit. Now, we're going to do a Nerd Venture stream tomorrow, and I want to talk about Star Wars and coming back to Star Wars and being better, being a better ambassador for the Star Wars community. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping that tomorrow on the Nerd Venture stream, we can get into that a little bit. I can complain to you guys, but I also want to get your perspective, right? What am I doing wrong? When do I cross the line? How much is too much? Do people really like Andor and why? It's a whole thing. You know what I mean? It's a whole thing. So we'll get into that tomorrow, but no public stream tomorrow. But there should be a video tomorrow. Yeah. I prefer Rage Star Wars, Josh. They kill Scar in Cap 4, triggering Savage Hulk comeback. I don't want them to kill Scar, even though he looks like a total soy boy. I don't want him to die. Have I talked about the leaked What If episodes? I have not, but they look pretty dope to me. Who's my Mount Rushmore of Marvel actors / characters? Ooh, that's a good question. You gotta put Hugh Jackman, Wolverine. You gotta put Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man. Tony Stark, RDJ. And honestly, I put Cap. That's the Mount Rushmore. Soulja Boy? 100% Soulja Boy. Soulja Boy's the takeaway. Andor is the greatest Star Wars content ever created. Ah! Holy shit. Should they redesign Scar? I say yes. Yes, definitely. They should definitely redesign Scar, yeah. Yeah. Is it true the Mutants crew will be the New Mutants? No, it seems like, and we're still trying to piece together like what this all means, but it seems like they're probably going to bring in, this is just my opinion here, I think they're going to bring in most of the first class X-Men, and I think a lot of them will just be the X-Men in the MCU. Like, that's what I think. I don't know for sure, but that's what I think. And maybe you'll get a whole new team of X-Men. Maybe you'll get some new X-Men and then McAvoy and Fassbender and all that. A lot of first class died. Yeah, for sure. For sure. We'll have to see how it all goes together. I thought She-Hulk looked decent, but Scar, damn. Yeah, She-Hulk doesn't look bad. Like, I think the effects and when she's in action and stuff like that, it looks really cool. But Scar was like, what the fuck? Gavin, what's up? Got here late, so I'm just going to rewatch the stream. Just wanted to say, hey. Oh, hell yeah. What If supposed to be January 2023? Is that confirmed? Trailer soon? I haven't heard anything specific about that, but oh, man, that would be great. That would be really fun for a little January drop, man. That'd be really cool. That'd be pretty sick, bro. That'd be pretty sick. Yeah, but the booty don't bounce. Yeah, that's true. They didn't put enough effects in the booty to make it actually bounce. How did Feige ever allow that Scar look? Dude, I don't know. I'd love to know what that like looks like. Like, what is going on with that shit? Like, does Feige just get a bunch of stuff on his desk and he looks at it and he's just like, does he have like a moment with himself? Or like, did he do you know what I think it is? Like, I'll just speculate a little bit, okay? I bet, and this is all speculation, okay? I bet that Feige's sitting there and he's absolutely hating the She-Hulk show. He absolutely is so frustrated with Jessica Gao in that entire writer's room. He's already been through the fucking ringer, going through all this shit that they want to do, and he's finally just like given up, and he's like, whatever, just go make your stupid ass horrible show that everyone will hate, right? And then like he goes to his desk and he sits there, and there's like this fucking picture of this stupid ass soy boy Hulk with a little sticky note on it that's from Jessica Gao. And she's like, Kevin, me and the team are really excited, and we finalized that this should be what Scar looks like. And he's like, everybody out! And he gets like everybody out of his office, and he just sits there, and he looks at it, and he just gets fucking infuriated, and he just starts getting super hot and sweaty and triggered as fuck. And then like he thinks to himself, you know what? Do I really want to have another fight with this bitch right now? Or do I just want to get this show over with? And then I can change it moving forward. And I think that's what I think that's what happened. You know? That's probably how it went down. So I want to see Charles' school with an actual student in it, bro. Like some X-Men Evolution stuff. X-Men Evolution! No! Someone needs to take this audio and animate the scene going down. I know, right? It would be kind of funny. But that's kind of the vibes that I get. Is like, he's just dealing with so much, and I'm sure he's just like, this fucking bitch, you know what I mean? So. Josh, come on. Come on, what? What are you talking about? I'm not a scroll. What are you talking about, bro? Guys, can I be honest with you? I don't think you guys are excited enough about Red Hulk president. I mean, what the hell? What the hell? Hey, Dirty Dan. Hey, Dirty Dan, you got to hit me up. You're the only address we don't have for all the shit we're giving away. So, Dirty Dan, you got to hit me up. Hit me up on Discord or Twitter, bro. Republican equal red? I mean, maybe. Maybe that's what they're going for. Red man bad. Oh, shit. There it is. I'm going to lose it if Rhodey has been a scroll this whole time. Yeah, that would be terrible. Once that trailer drops, the hype times a million. Hell yeah. We've been burned on the MCU as well. No! You're not allowed to be burned on the MCU. You're not allowed. Do you not understand that they're fixing all the problems? Do you not understand it's going to get so much better? Do you not understand how hyped up Secret Wars and Kang Dynasty is going to be? MCU stinky poop? Oh no. Oh no, what the fuck is happening? Claytonium, welcome to the Nerdvengers. You are a Nerdvenger now. Welcome to the team. Get over here and get excited about Marvel, baby. That would make him a football team and command. What the fuck? I get the feeling Kevin loves She-Hulk and takes pictures in the reaction he got. It cleared the outline and has final approval. Wait, what? You think Kevin Feige likes She-Hulk? Yeah, okay. Doom would wipe the floor with Superman. I mean, I don't know about that, but he would definitely put up a good fight. Uh-oh. Does Red Hulk have a red bunghole? Ugh, I don't know about that, but yeah, probably. Would you like to see Secret Wars as a series, maybe animated, potentially going more in depth? No, I don't think so. I think the way it's going to go down over the next couple of years, we're going to get all the depth you need, and then it's going to feel like a big payoff. Yeah. Red Hulk is a commander now. True. True. Haven't been excited for any Star Wars or Marvel, and I was a diehard. Hopefully, it'll get better. I'm telling you, it's going to get better. We all hope it gets better, Josh. Time will tell. Well, there you go. Ready for Red Hulk no more. MCU, also Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. greater than Loki. It's just like, how can I put all the triggering things into a chat? Can we get Josh to explode? Well, guess what? Not today, Satan. Not today. You know, I gotta be honest. I thought I was gonna get more pushback on the conservative thing. I thought everybody was gonna get real upset about it, but maybe that's just people on Twitter. Maybe that's just a bunch of poopy butthole people. I could do this all day. I'm taking your word, Josh. Well, there you go, Elijah. There you go. Yeah. How dare you say conservative? I know, right? We're all tired of the libs. I mean, a little bit, right? RDJ wanted to reach out to Dominic Thorne and encourage her. I saw that. That's actually pretty cool. Yeah. What if Harrison Ford, Red Hulk, and Megan Thee Stallion, but Harrison is actually... Wait, what? The fuck? Dude, you're on one, man. No one cares about the Red Hulk. What? Josh, your Red Hulk conservative take is so woke. Oh, okay. Yeah. We are exhausting. LOL. That's true. Who brought politics into the stream? Smack my head. I mean, you know, everything's political. Dude, Star Wars is politics. Duh. And Andor's, that's why Andor's the best. Because it's just like politics. Dry, boring, pompous. Harrison Ford twerks as the Red Hulk. New scoop. Ooh, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Weed is going to be legal in Minnesota next year? Tell you. Twitter will be the new MySpace soon. Maybe. We'll see. Can Feige also cancel the Marvel musicals, please? I don't know about all that, bruh. Andor sucks. Yeah. All right, everybody. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that, Atoski. No, it's okay, Sire. I was just like, what is this? It's too much for me. Too much for my brain. You're Josh the Jedi on Discord, right? Yes. Yeah, did you send me something? Yeah. Yeah. All right, everybody. Much love to you all. I appreciate the conversation. I appreciate your participation. I'll see the Nerd Avengers tomorrow at 11 for a little therapy session about Star Wars. That should be real fun. As I always say, I hope you're having an awesome end day, nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video. Is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? That's a nice little Tuesday update for you there. Nice little Tuesday stream for you, yeah? Hope you had a good time on it, yeah? Much love, guys. I appreciate it. Love talking all this nerdy shit with you guys. So thanks again. Thanks for being here. And Thursday, we'll bring the heat. We'll bring the noise. We'll bring the blinkers, and we'll get to nerd venging once again. Yeah. Remember to open up that third eye. Remember to wash out your brown eye. Make sure you're eating enough vegetables and drinking enough water. You gotta take care.